LGD Gaming versus Gaming Gladiators. Game 2.
Game 2 of our lower bracket finals. We just heard it there from Y. Innovation is confidence. This team, they've been known for those wild drafts. They were the first ones to do Dark Willow on the main stage. We saw it last weekend. This could be the do or die. This is where the innovation is really going to come in clutch for them. How far do you push the envelope to make it to the grand finals, to make a comeback in this low bracket?
To me, it's definitely it was their best draft with Dark Willow and Broodmother and Magnus, and I would love to see them going for this again, because I think this is like the way to break the game against Gaming Gladiators, and to pull something that they don't expect, and it will break their plan of, like, you know, having this stable mid game.
I definitely hope they don't take the carry Dark Willow. I think the rest is good, but if you remember that game, I think the Willow took a really long time to come online. If you're playing against Gaimin who want to press you so early, I don't think you can be one hero down in the way they were for so long. Like, she just needs so many items to come online, and it really was a case of like the rest of the LGD team really like carrying the game to the point where Shiro could take part.
Yeah, because the big timing on level 20 for Dark Willow carry. It's when you get the more duration on the W, so a lot of the time when you talk about the hero, like, we're playing for the level 20 team, guys, and if you're playing for level 20 for Gaming Gladiators, you might be in for a struggle. So good news is, it looks like LGD is first pick, so that means that they have the opportunity to ban the Chen and the Ench, and then they can take whatever they want in the draft. So I'll be interested to see how the draft changes up this time.
I'm mostly talking about like how they can take a lead and like pressure GG themselves, because this Broodmother had an opportunity, you know, to pressure their towers and to create a lot of chaos, and I think this is what they should be aiming for. Not Dark Willow specifically, but something unique.
LGD had first pick. They're still focusing on that Dazzle, that Chen Enchantress. Like you said, Gunnar, if you're going to take one out, take both of them out. So that's their 3 bans, and it opens up the Muerta for them to be able to get their hands on.
The cool thing about the Muerta is we were talking about the Necrophos, and so thankfully, if Muerta ends up being a carry, she's really good because she can shoot him no matter what if he's Ghost Shrouded. So it's kind of already like a soft counter to the Necro later in the draft. And it's also, I think it's one of the better carries versus Chaos Knight. He can't burst you during your ult, so you have kind of a way to fight around him.
Yeah, I've seen this matchup go both ways. Obviously, because Muerta is very dependent on her positioning in fights, and Chaos Knight usually goes for this like Silver Edge and stuff. He's going to be seeking her out. If they do find her, I mean, the burst is insane. Muerta is quite squishy without her ult. And Chaos Knight, in general, just this patch is so strong. His laning is terrifying. Like, I wonder if we'll see Grimstroke contested again going into the second phase.
BetBoom had the flex with Chaos Knight yesterday. We saw it was able to go into carry off lane for themselves. Is that the same for Gaming Gladiators, or this is very much a Dyrachyo? They're okay with if this hero is attempted to be countered, that Dyrachyo can still have a really good game for himself and he'll be able to come back and do it.
I think it's mostly heroes for Dyrachyo because it's already very strong lane, and it's the hero he excels in, and it's very aggressive as well. And it allows Celery to pick heroes that are not really needed for the lane, because it's already like very self-sustainable, so he can do his things with it often, like run around mid lane, help Queen.
So something I'm interested in is Naga Siren. I think this hero is pretty strong, and she's really good versus Chaos Knight, either in a lane matchup or just in the game as a carry to carry. Her illusions pretty much do the same thing as Chaos Knight's, where Chaos Knight will just use his ult to push out all the lanes the whole game, and Naga does that for free with a much lower cooldown. So she's always ready to fight. She can use Song to disengage from the Chaos Knight ult, and they also banned the Brew for the side of gaming. So if I was LGD, I'd probably be looking at a Naga at some point in this draft.
And I'm sure GG is looking for another Lone Druid game. I think it will fit their lineup very well.
They want to keep picking their comfort. It's gotten them this far. It'll keep them going. So I don't think gaming really feels like they have the need to change anything. If they get 1 to 2 of their just stable heroes every game and they just change the rest around to just fit it, I think it's kind of their formula.
I was very shocked that, maybe not very shocked is the right word here, but I was surprised LGD, they went hardcore still on the supports. The Phoenix and the Grim being their ban does still leave that Dark Willow open for Gaming Gladiators to pick up, but their response is Magnus ET.
Yeah, I think teams consider ET like one of the counter picks to the CK nowadays, because it stops the illusions, and along with the Magnus as well, you have their AoE RP, and there's also like one of the best nothing to say heroes, so they're looking pretty good already.
Niu was also one of the first people to actually start spamming it in pubs a few weeks ago. He honestly, not to hype him up too much, but I would say he probably started the meta in pubs a few weeks ago, just like spamming it offlane every game. And around that same time was when, you know, you saw everyone just starting to even play at mid. But he's also really good on it in the offlane, so I wouldn't be surprised that they just have this as a flex pick. And if you know Quinn tries to counter it right now, that it can just go to the offlane and be comfortable versus the Chaos Knight.
Oh, there's another ace hero that he excels at. I thought they would go for the Lone Druid, but Wraith King is also quite nice. It's very stable, very solid. They like to play with the two cores in the side lanes, so.
I mean, they had it earlier in this weekend as well, and it was a part of that push strat that they had. Those skeletons can be very annoying and obnoxious.
I think everything right now, though, is leading for Naga Siren for LGD. This is looking really scary unless this next pick kind of counters it, which I don't really know what they can pick outside of a Pugna to prep for it. And if LGD get a Naga, I think the draft looks pretty good for them. They'll have a way to constantly get vision for the Magnus. ET also gives vision. They have sleep into, you know, net and sleep plays, so they just have a lot of kind of utility with the Naga Siren across the map.
I like the Naga suggestion for sure because it can delay the game for them. And I was suggesting this Prophet. Yeah, I was seeing coming, and the Naga as well.
Yeah, well, that Prophet pick was like that just made Naga even better.
Yeah. So they take the Furion. I really like this versus the strong laning 5s like Elder Titan, because what happens is the Furion goes to your safe lane and kind of exists there, and he's always a 3v2 in the top lane. So anytime ET wants to go aggressive onto this, the safe lane, the Furion will TP in. Now it's a 3v2, and the ET's not as strong of a hero.
Well, last time I saw this Prophet, I wasn't really big a fan of because it looked like very squishy during the mid game. But the way the GG are playing, this is such a huge tempo, and you know, this Naga, like we've seen many times already, like this Naga is not gonna be able to come online even after, like, you know, they're pushing your high ground at 20 minutes.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, thankfully for Naga, one of the cool things is the games are really boring to play when you're the other team because she just delays it. So if there's one way to stop gaming from pushing your base, it's to cut all 3 waves at the same time simultaneously and be completely safe because you have Song. So Naga is one of the ways that you can pretty much delay a game. It's kind of like probably a more consistent version of Keeper of the Light, just from the carry role. So already right now, I feel way more confident for LGD to take this game into the mid game to the late game to where they're more comfortable taking the win.
Dude, I'm terrified for gaming. Like, how do you ever take high ground when you're playing into ET, Stomp, you're playing into this skewer back, you have a Naga that's going to cut your waves while they're holding you off like that. It seems so difficult to ever breach high ground without just killing the entirety of LGD.
It's so easy when you're doing it this early. Yeah, I thought that too for their previous draft, but they seem to make it work, you know, somehow. Just purely from winning lanes and making this aggressive moves in the mid game and like taking complete lead because of how stable their mid game is.
I think as long as this last pick for LGD, either the mid or offlane, has some sort of wave clear to deal with the skeletons that are going to come and kind of help defend the tier 2s when they're actually sitting there in front of you, I'll be really happy for LGD's draft.
Oh, there's no way they didn't pick Pango, and they picked Pango. All right.
Well, there's their wave shove. It gives them also a team fight to fight on the towers. I really like this matchup with Wraith King. You one-shot the skeletons, you burn his mana before the shard. So I really like the LGD draft. I think it's much better than what they had last game. They also kind of don't have the ability to get countered as hard. So I feel very good for them. And I'm curious as to what Quinn will play. This is, you know, he knows Pangolier.
Yeah, is it another Huskar game for him? Just purely of like how they can snowball after this game?
I'm not too sure. I think there's probably a Queen of Pain angle. I think Queen of Pain scales really nicely versus Naga Siren. Also, there's not really stuns that he has to worry about. It's only the root from Naga Siren. And so I think Queen of Pain kind of has the mobility. Also, it ganks really well with the Furion. They can set up everywhere across the map. He just needs to now deal with the Naga Siren and have a stable lane versus Pango. Those are his 2 big goals.
I just really believe in the Huskar. I think you can allow to have 2 melee heroes against Queen and not ban the Huskar in the last pick. I think he's choosing about it right now. He's thinking about it.
He's worried. He's telling him, like, don't worry, man. He won't Huskar. It's all good.
Yeah. Trying to ease those nerves. Don't think about it. Don't think about it.
Oh, you're right. That's a good opinion. Nice suggestion.
I think it does check all the boxes for Gaming Gladiators, but it's kind of... Again, I'm really scared of this Naga. I thought the second that they picked Chaos Knight, Naga was going to come out at some point in the draft. And so, if anything, I would give LGD an edge right now.
Yeah. All right. And what about yourself, Sheep?
I think Gunner's popped off.
That's true. You kind of predicted everything.
Yeah, he really did.
Sorry.
No, it was great.
Never apologize.
I agree with that. I think LGD have the stronger draft. I think this Pango brought everything together. That was a hero I was thinking of for gaming to help deal with the Naga, but them just sweeping it I think it just solidifies their draft. I think their high ground is way too scary to go into as well.
So even if we focus Naga's lane time and time again, Gunnar, you think that shutting down isn't enough to build into Gaming Gladiators, that everyone else on the side of LGD will be able to make space?
Yeah, I think she got picked into pretty much Wraith King and Chaos Knight, which are the same hero that she'll excel in the lane. They don't really have a way to clear the illusions that easily, so her lane should be fine. She can honestly be left alone after 4 or 5 minutes, and her game will be good. The biggest thing is whether Quinn can get a lot of work done in this mid matchup is kind of the way that GG wants to play, is bring stuff mid. Quinn's going to outplay the enemy mid laner and just go from there.
I'm just worried about supports on the LGD side, like how they're gonna protect the Pango from the, from being a runover with the Queen and supports.
All right, we'll keep our eyes on mid. We'll see how impactful this Naga is, and we'll see how confident LGD are feeling about their draft.
I am joined by Xiao8 of LGD, and Helen will be helping me translate. Xiao8, you have played at countless TIs, you've coached countless TIs, you've won TI. When you are looking at this tournament, is there any one thing that's unique about this international compared to others in the past?
小八想问一下，你打过那么多届 TI， 也较量过那么多届 TI， 然后自己也赢得了 TI， 想问一下这届 TI 有什么特别之处吗？
就很久没来西雅图了，感觉西雅图回到了很熟悉的感觉吧。
It's been a while since I've been in Seattle, so that familiar feeling is coming back.
I'm happy to hear it, but how about all the fans who are watching across the world? This may be your last game. Is there anything you'd like to say to them to get them excited that LGD is going to continue fighting?
现场和全世界那么多的观众都在支持你们，这一把游戏你有什么想跟他们说，让他们热情起来的吗？
这一把弄死他们。
We're gonna get them.
They're gonna get them. Let's get ready for game 2.
There we have it, some good words of confidence coming into this game 2 here for LGD up against Gaming Gladiators. A hard-fought game 1 from them, but they weren't able to do it. Gladiators pulling through in that first game. Here in this game 2, what do you think about the change-ups? I'm seeing already the fact that LGD, they've got Shira on this Naga Siren. If his Manta play was anything to go by in the last game with the Luna, you've only got to imagine what he's going to be able to do on a Naga Siren.
Yeah, it feels like 2 very different style drafts versus each other. A very fast-paced draft, Gaming trying to just take advantage, just slam these lanes, in particular mid. Quinn going for his Queen of Pain, of course. They're trying to just snowball the game out of control. LGD trying to slow things down, and if they can, their draft looks amazing, right? If they can get to these later stages, this draft from LGD does look like it will reign supreme, but can they withstand the pressure? Gaming has been the team to dictate the pace, to dictate these quick games. This could be another one they're able to set up if they set up this Queen of Pain in particular for that success.
Sure, and do you think sort of some rightful concerns from the panel as well with regards to what LGD supports are going to be able to do early on to sort of enable the other lanes, or how do you think that's going to play out?
I mean, it's just difficult to be able to, like, with the the Nature's Prophet constantly making these rotations with the teleport, that's where something they could struggle. They're going to have to like preemptively be ready for the moves, as already right off the bat.
Here. He's able to get off the 3-man shield crash, but still the damage coming in. It's going to be first blood for Celery. The power of the Nature's Prophet already coming into fruition here with that level 1 play.
Whose blood grenade was that? Was that Celery's? I saw one being thrown out. Yeah, it was. Okay, so, I mean, easy grab there for him, getting set up. Quinn doesn't get the last hit, but either way, does get an advantage inside that middle lane. That's the way they're going to look to play. I'm going to be just watching Celery overall, these TPs, but are they going to be able to slow down Dyrachyo is the question, because if Celery's going to be constantly moving around, perhaps that's where New and Planet are able to take some advantage versus this Chaos Knight, who usually just wins every single lane.
Yeah, talk to me more about this sort of Queen of Pain pick. We just don't see it a lot, but Quinn, realizing that this is the game to pull it off. What do you think it is directly about this draft from LGD that's made him want to get the Queen of Pain out against it?
Definitely limited stuns, right? Just looking overall what they have to commit kind of like ultimates. There's a net, and then there's a silence from the Muerta, and a dead shot. It's pretty limited. These skill shots are not the easiest things to land on something like a Queen of Pain if he's able to get that big snowball advantage. Nothing to say. Getting 7 of the last hits on the first 2 waves, though. So even though he does get killed right away, a very, very good start for this Pango. But it gets quite rough. Those levels, once they build up for the Queen of Pain, it does get pretty difficult for that Pango in the mid.
Bottom lane, Dyrachyo being kept very low here by the harassment from New and Planet. I mean, how strong of a lane is this in your book in terms of the Magnus and the Muerta?
Very strong, yeah. I mean, it's universal Magnus. You always have great right click. This year, I think, he's been the one who actually did it first. I think they were mentioned on the panel. Dyrachyo.
Has to turn it with the stun there to hold back New. Very much playing on the edge of his life here, Dyrachyo.
I'm glad to see more of the Magnus. I feel like this hero always has potential in the off lane just to make so many outplays, just the shockwave into skewer plays, overall good base damage to get last hits. I like this lane a lot. It's quite a bit of attack speed slow too, so even if they try to like turn and fight you, you skewer and you have this calling down, both abilities of course slowing attack speed, it's really tough to fight versus these two.
Looking at sort of the top lane, YU Smile on the Elder Titan. A pretty good game for ET to combo up with some of his teammates.
Absolutely. I mean, he's playing, it's all about the stalling, right? Stalling out the games. They have the Magnus as well, too. Two of the best wombo combos. And even with the Naga,
this time around, they'll get him. Yes, Stuart forward from you. Duracho getting punished. The same time, though, Shiro also to fall. Both carries getting punished in the safe lane.
Oh, wow. The top one I really wouldn't anticipate happening, but the bottom one, with the way that they were bringing it to Duracho, I was definitely more expected. I can't believe they killed this Naga with this top lane. There's a reason this Wraith King has been constantly picked for this off lane, how much he's able to do in the early game. And Ace, he's been one of the best with it.
Keeping eyes on this mid as well. Definitely a matchup where you could see the solo kills occurring. Both heroes having to be cautious. They've got good amounts of jump and resets, way to back up and jump back in if they catch one another low.
Yeah, nothing to say. Just has to be very careful with how he uses those swashbuckles. A TP comes in from the Nature's Prophet and it could just net a kill almost immediately up top.
The Stomp it.
Gets the Lotus.
The two of them, Shiro trying to close in onto Tofu, but Tofu does have the shadow around with the
Celery's here.
And they've got backup. Celery's in, they turn with the Brave Fire Blast over towards Shiro. Shiro getting surrounded, caught in the Sprout. He's taken out again. This could be able to have a good chance of chasing YU Smile out as well, as YU Smile trying to back off. But the right clicks on Tofu and Celery are enough. Double kill for Tofu. This top lane getting messy.
Messy already. As soon as the Naga comes back, I mean, this is going to be the long walk of shame. 30 seconds, no TP. So much physical damage. The Blightstone coming in, the Wraith King skeleton just hitting on him. It's nothing the Naga can do.
Yeah, these early deaths, they absolutely hurt for Shiro.
Yep. And Duracho, even though he did die, this hero overall, it sustains on its own really nicely. 2 points up on the Chaos Strike for Duracho, so should be able to at least get this farm under the tower here.
And Shiro, you know, TP still on cooldown. He's having to take the smoke to try and get back to lane as quickly as he can. A big hit against the Naga Siren in this laning stage.
A massive one is also Quinn can now go for the bottom room while Tofu checks the top one. Will nothing to say be able to get it. Nope, Quinn gets it. And now Tofu's here to back up. Nothing to say, has a swash.
He's going to get caught by the Bramble, though. Still able to jump away, but will have to potentially back off as this dagger ticks him down.
And Quinn's just jumping him.
In for the kill. Another dagger. Quinn, he's going to get it. The kill's there. Gladiators finding a lot of early action down bottom planet and knew they tried for Celery, but Celery, he's able to just walk away from them. The Stomp does clip him.
Can they finish?
Shockwave will drag it back. New really wants to kill. He'll get him.
But now New's under tower.
Down. The stun's there. Duracho trying to step up, see if he can finish on New in return. Doesn't look like he'll have any further grab. 6 seconds until the stun's back up. In fact, he might be in trouble himself. Another dead shot connection from Planet into the Shockwave.
Got a Lotus.
May be able to turn aboard Planet because the stun, it's back up. The crits are coming in. The stop is there though just in time before Duracho's able to pull in Planet with a reality rip. Doesn't matter though. Celery TP's in, grants him the vision to still grab him back. I mean, now YU Smile's got to be cautious. Duracho's been handed over a Tango. He can start healing up.
Hey, look at New. He even has to be careful with his positioning. Like, Duracho just standing toe-to-toe versus 3 heroes.
I mean, again in the mid lane, nothing to say, getting bullied by Quinn and Tofu. As soon as he's back to the mid lane, he's back out again. Dead without TP available.
And Ace is now in a 1v1 versus the Naga Siren. He's more than happy with this type of setup. They have to just keep trying to move these lanes around on side of LGD. They need to do something.
And they will. Planet turns up, make sure that this time round, Shiro is able to get the kill against Ace.
All right, look at the aggressions. 10 kills, 5 minutes. Gaming Gladiators, their draft definitely thrives off of this. They want to be the ones just dictating pace, getting these early kills, getting that lane advantage, and so far looking pretty damn good.
A long walk back to the mid lane is going to mean that there's going to be quite the XP difference here between the mids. Quinn already halfway through the 6, and of course nothing to say yet to hit his.
And it's right around the power rune too. Quinn very likely to be able to set this one up. Planet has to play around mid to try to stop this Queen of Pain from snowballing so hard. Will he get lucky? Planet will get it. Quick pause. Okay.
Oh.
Get a crash.
Okay. So a quick reset here from Duracho, but yeah, as things have gone in this first 6 minutes, Gladiators
exactly the way they want it.
An explosive opening really with these moves that they've made, and as was expected with the power of Celu's Nature's Prophet, he's always been there as a +1.
I mean, even Tofu too, 4-0 and 2 so far, right? He is actually ahead of Duracho on net worth. He's tied with almost all the cores at this point as Willow. Beautiful stuff. I mean, getting those early kills up top, making the rotations onto mid. So far, I mean, it's exactly what Gaming wants to do with their draft. Get early kills, snowball, keep putting that aggressive posture on the map. I mean, they've kind of pushed Shiro a little bit to the jungle already. He has to move away as this Naga Siren so early in the game. He's got Midas queued up.
It's going to be one of those recovery games for him after a lane like this. Those early deaths slowing down sort of the potential, but as we saw last game, LGD, they are very good at stalling the games out, even if the beginning goes rough.
Yeah, they don't have a Shadow Demon, though, to create those illusions. Yes, they have the natural Naga Siren, but they don't have a Spirit Breaker who just literally clears every single wave. A lot more difficult for Nothing to Say, it would seem, this game, being slowed down this much. And losing the lanes like this also, when you're playing versus something like this Wraith King and this Nature's Prophet, there's a reason that Gaming likes to play this so much, right? You pick up the tempo so fast. So if you start having to get pushed to jungle this early on the side of LGD, these towers are going to start dropping very, very early on with the way that they want to make moves.
And with the sort of the start that the supports of Gaming Gladiators have got, and the fact that Quinn is in the lead right now, it's not going to be too difficult for Gladiators to go for these deep movements and try and catch Shiro in his jungle.
Absolutely. They just have to watch out how far they overextend, because the way the counter initiation and everything from LGD, that's kind of their biggest thrive, is if Gaming pushes the limit too far, they have wombo combo team fight. They have massive ways of repositioning and taking them under these tier 2s potentially. So far early game, exactly what Gaming Gladiators wants, maybe even more than they could have hoped for with Ace having such a damn good start in top.
Just not easy for Nothing to Say to offer around this mid. He's just trying to at least find the XP for his level 6.
And Ace definitely having a very nice understanding with this Wraith King, playing versus the Naga Siren versus the ET. He's all about that plus armor. He's got the Ring of Protection, I believe he started with, Wraith Band right afterwards, and Phase Boot. So hard for them to really bring him out of this lane with this Naga or this ET. This lane's hard to restabilize. Dyrachyo now able to get this free farm.
And why are you smart? Maybe see if we can go for some sort of stomp play to grab the wisdom, but
it's a risky play versus Nature's Prophet.
He's not going to be able to stop them from securing it themselves, the Gladiators. In fact,
and he actually gets caught.
Ace
is here.
Indeed is ready with the stun, puts a stop to the TP, so not only not getting the chance to grab the Wisdom Rune, he ends up losing his life to Ace.
Such a quick movement there from Ace. Don't think that the ET expected him to move that quick. He's queued up the Radiance now already, so gonna have that itemization even versus the Naga Siren as game does potentially progress. He is incredibly farmed so far on this Wraith King.
I mean, for LGD, can they look for aggressive moves themselves, or is it just a case of them preparing to turn things around if Gaming Gladiators start heading onto their half of the map?
They need more levels for sure. I mean, the big one that usually wants to make the moves is going to be that mid laner, but when he's playing versus a Queen of Pain, he's super shut down and new. Also, it's level 4 Magnus now versus the level 6 CK. Dyrachyo is perfectly fine to be left alone down here. So difficult for them to really make moves in this early game now. As they said on panel, these supports that are kind of needed with the cores, they have to make the moves with the cores in particular. Nothing to Say we'll get another power rune. Quinn.
And they're trying to set up, but it's so hard. They need kind of the silence from the calling to really clip him. Outside of that, Quinn, he's jumping away every time.
Yeah, they need like the perfect kind of chain stun with the Rolling Thunder and everything. That's why they wanted this pop. Very elusive. Still looking to play around mid too. They've got 3 heroes poised on the side of Gaming Gladiators, looking to still go for Nothing to Say. Almost 8 on Quinn. They're actually just going to instantly smoke him. Takes the point into Sonic Wave. He wants to look to keep the pressure going here.
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad catch finding you. He's already had a bit of a tough time in the lane. If they can take him down,
we'll be able to break that smoke at the least.
They'll see what's coming.
But look at Dyrachyo's positioning. He still wants to dive new.
I mean, who wants to come down here to help him? TPs are going to be coming over.
He's got the Pango
here. He's getting caught by the Bramble, though. Nothing to Say. The stun's out for Dyrachyo. Nothing to Say. He's got the Rolling Thunder at the ready, but the Sonic Wave pointed the 2 of them back.
Now he's too low.
New. There's now Nothing to Say. He's got to run.
Perfect angle from Quinn to get that pushback. Stops him in his tracks. Gaming just continue to keep the advantage going, and Planet, be careful.
He's going to miss the dead shot. The stun's there. I mean, Planet, he's gone as well.
That in an instant.
They just can't fight them at this point, despite how hard they try, LGD.
And I mean, without Rolling Thunder now, they cannot protect this tower. Top also looks like it's starting to get pressure. Rotation from Tofu coming in with Ace. Pressure on all fronts, 10-3, a 4K lead already, pre-10 minutes. Gaming doing what they do best. Daracho almost having it. He's going to have this armlet pretty much done already. Shiro is starting to get some recovery farm, but he's not really the one who makes plays to recover things. He's the one who has to just kind of sit back and farm for a very, very long time. The fact that this offlane and mid lane are struggling so much, it's going to be very difficult for LGD to mount these defenses on these early towers.
It's going to take time for New sort of what, just 300 gold in towards the Blink Dagger.
Yeah, he's very poor.
It's tier 1 in the mid lane, starting to get a bit of a beat down here by Daracho. He's actually ready to start jungling over on LGD's side of the map. He knows that there's very little that LGD can do to push back the CK.
I mean, he knows they're just very underleveled. Magnus still not quite level 6. The 2 supports as well, too. Their damage is just extremely lackluster on the side of LGD. The only damage they really have is going to be coming out from the Pango right now, and this Pango is very shut down in this game. Top tower to fall. Ace close to a relic.
He's getting the chance to step up and trade hits here with Shiro right up towards close to the tier 2.
Look how confident he is.
They can't punish him.
They don't have damage for him by this point. They doesn't even have the armlet just yet.
I mean, Shiro's just getting chased out completely from his jungle.
And immediately he has a wave bottom, meets his tower. Daracho just heads back over as they take out top tower. Ace is going to have this. I mean, this is going to be one of the faster offlane Radiances that comes out, and it's a great Radiance game playing versus this Nagas turn. Quinn continue to play incredibly aggressive here, push the limits.
I mean, you got Tofu coming in from the side as well.
And look at Daracho. I mean, he just pops a Phantasm and sends the illusion on New and just zones him out of the lane. New actually can't walk up and contest an illusion. And could just die if he steps up a little bit too far. Has to be pretty careful.
Same to be said for nothing to say. He's having to go right back under the tier 2. Cannot show his face anywhere close to tier 1. Going to try and tip it down bottom. Skew's only going to be on towards the Phantasm. Maybe they can find Celery. They'll get the stomp set up. Daracho's considering maybe helping out on this fight, but with the wrong
here.
They're in with the stun. Sonic Wave pushing back the 3 of them. It's actually giving the space for Celery to walk away.
I mean, the
Celery,
punk out.
He's perfectly fine. Daracho's considering diving towards New. Nothing saying he tripped up by the spells of Tofu as the jump forwards there from Quinn. Nothing to stay taken down. They just can't kill any of them.
I mean,
Not even Celery.
Again and again. I mean, Quinn, this time a Sonic Wave just to knock back the Pango. Works out perfectly, completely messes with nothing to say. This Pango's having no effectiveness right now. Can't even touch a Celery.
6K lead already for Gaming Gladiators. This is as hot as a start as you can get, really.
I mean, the Relic is done. The Radiance is going to be coming up with 13, 14 minutes for Ace. Oh, it's a Daracho.
I was going to say...
It's bound to happen. It hasn't happened much at TI, I feel like.
When he dies like this, the win is pretty much guaranteed. You know.
I can't believe it always happens.
We should have had a camera on him.
That was unexpected.
We'll get a replay of that one.
Okay. Well, as I say, when that's happened before, he pretty much always wins the game. Yep. So, you know, all part of the course here for Daracho.
I can't believe it always happens. Oh, my goodness. Things calming down for a few moments here, but Gaming have... I mean, they've hit so hard in these first 12 minutes. What more could you ask for? All 3 tier 1s taken out. You've completely shut down the Pango. The Magnus, his timings are all shot as well, too. You're having 3 cores farming perfectly, and the 2 supports as well, too. Look at how farmed the 2 of them are. Neck and neck, 3,600 gold on the 2 of them. And yeah, Radiance, it's going to be done already. So he's going to have that way to just control the map even more and have the counter versus the Nagasarn even as game progresses.
These passive moments just not favoring LGD at all. See it again here. I mean, at this point, we all knew there was a high likelihood something was going to go wrong, and it did.
Wait, oh my God.
And he ran. There we go. Tofu with a smile for that one.
Quinn did not smile.
Quinn all serious business from Quinn. He weren't happy.
How dare you? And my perfect Queen of Pain game. What are you doing? Look how aggressive they're still posturing, though. Continue, just go for nothing to say. No space for this man.
Uh-oh.
Man. I mean, Zhao 8 gave him some rubs on the shoulders, but so far it's not helping. 0-5-0. They're trying to find anything that they can to get. Look at this, Why You Smile now positioning for Wisdom Rune, potentially trying to get the 2 of them stolen at least. But Tofu already running over. And Celery's even TPing in aggressively. They're just going to take both, it seems, on the side of Gaming.
Maybe with a stomp, Why You Smile can get this one. No, Tofu's able to kite it out, gets back in, picks it up. Planet will be able to grab their own.
Okay, Daracho actually isolated. New is here as well.
If they can get him. They've got the skew up. They'll try and turn, but this time, ooh.
Nice song.
It might be allowing them to get the 2 of them, actually, because now they can set up over towards Celery. They kill off Daracho. They close the gap in on towards Celery. Gets clipped by the dead shot. A couple of kills here for LGD.
Nicely done from Shiro. I mean, he's the one with the Midas, and he's the one actually making the plays happen here to bring some stuff back. Nicely done. And they got the Wisdom. Something finally going for the side of LGD.
And that area of the map, not really been a happy place for Duracho in these last few moments.
Back.
Ends up denying himself and also ends up getting killed off. Probably not a place we'll see him head back to anytime soon.
But Ace, he probably says, don't worry, guys. I'm the real carry.
I mean, it's all a distraction. It certainly seems that way, because indeed he continues to match the farm of Shiro.
And this is going to be one of the slower timings I think we see. It comes out for nothing to say. This Diffusal Blade, it's been slowed down so much. He still doesn't have it. He's still about 800 gold away. On Midas, they're just going to be going for all the way to these late game here. Double Midas is coming out for LGD. Shiro, he's caught. Can he get away?
Clip on the Sonic Wave once more, nothing to say, getting pushed back. Have to use the remainder of this Rolling Thunder to just retreat. Cannot afford to go into the high ground against Gaming Gladiators. Bottom lane, Duracho.
He's alone.
I mean, he still feels just sort of super confident to play like this and just be this distraction, really. Just try and draw the attention of LGD down here and away from Ace.
It's very typical Duracho, right? Just
getting in their faces.
Super aggressive, sometimes over-aggressive, but either way, it's his play style and it works time and time again for gaming.
It really does.
Look at these illusions, they die so fast. Extra bit of gold going for Celery. Going straight down that pipe route himself too after the Solar Crest, just looking to ball up. 7K lead. Quinn does get caught by the net.
They've got the opening net.
Do they have the follow-up?
Got the silence, the dead shot as well. It's perfectly done, but not perfect enough.
No way.
Still able to blink away. The wraparound coming in from Ace. In with the Raid 5 blast and the skeletons over towards Why You Smile. Why You Smile. He's able to move speed over here, has enough move speed to get away from him. Ace trying to turn his attention towards more, but LGD, they've kited out this counterplay from
Planet.
Ace. Planet,
he's caught.
Back in range of the Wraith King though, as Ace, with the backup of Celery, should be able to block off his escape. The stun comes in, the crits come out. They take Planet down.
I think you can imagine the gaming's gonna look to really accelerate things as soon as they see New. The Magnus having a Midas, they're probably like, guys, let's go, go, go. They have no blink dagger on Mag.
Every single time Drasha's just going straight for New. Anytime New shows his face on the lane.
Right, LGD, they're playing for the super late game, right? This Midas queued up top. Gaming probably wants to keep pushing down for this tower. Glyph is down. Can't believe Quinn gets away. I mean, he is very tanky at this point.
I mean, and they really did everything they could to lock him down. It just wasn't enough.
It was pretty much perfect, but yeah. The Occult Bracelet, the magic resistance, just 2,000 HP on this Queen of Pain because that advantage he's gotten from the early game.
All right, Blink done on you. Are you smoking up on LGD to make a play around this, or are you still sitting back and looking for the counter plays?
I think they can look to make plays with the Pango and the Magnus, for sure. Still, I mean, they're going to be playing for later stages, but if they can find opportunities to catch heroes that are pushed up too far toward these tier 2s, they can definitely get some kills. Maybe even surprise ones onto something like Ace. Panel was talking about the mana burn sometimes from the Pango can be a little bit of an issue for these Wraith Kings. Ace is just going to go straight for that shard next. Catch bottom.
Got to split up.
Do they have enough?
It's a huge amount of damage.
Not quite enough yet. Does get the toggle off this time.
As well, making sure that these illusions aren't able to finish Duracho off.
Shiro he's getting quite involved with this Nagasar and just trying to bring things back together for his team.
I mean, he really did so much last game, keeping it going into Luna with the illusions. This very much a even more perfect hero for him to play when it comes to just keeping the game going, buying time for the entire team of LGD to scale.
There's that shard for Ace. So doesn't have to worry about that mana burn coming into play here. LGD still looking for a player. DD now on nothing to say.
They want to get something done with this blink. A solo RP would absolutely cut it. They'll go for Quinn if they want to.
Thinking about it. Can they get the catch?
There it is.
They can.
Straight in, they get the drag back. This time, if they got enough lockdown, the sleep, the
He's still alive.
Pushes back you, and Quinn is able to jump away, turn with a Sonic Wave, and walk this one off. As Ace, he's considering getting involved. He starts to head straight towards them, feeling strong with the fact that he's got that shard, has the reincarnation ready to use aggressively.
I mean, they just use so much. Use their Pango roll, they use their Magnus ult too, so Gaming, they're gonna run at them right here. Celery, TPing up top already, looking for nothing to say. He's got backup coming in, but they want this tower. It's 300 HP. Quinn just keeps getting away over and over again here. A nice attempt there though from LGD.
Yeah, they had to go for it.
Gotcha. I mean, look how aggressive he's playing even near the tier 2s.
They've got the vision down.
The Magnus. This is dangerous positions here, though. Those skewer plays near tier 2s is something they still have to do respect on the side of Gaming.
Duracho, we're closing in on the BKB timing. He's got it pretty soon if he wants to take apart the Echo.
Still looking to keep accelerating things with these ults on cooldown. 50 seconds, no RP, 28 on the Rolling Thunder. Top tower will fall. Ace has skeletons prepped at the ready too. So you want to keep threatening it all here. Maybe swing toward the mid lane. They've actually dragged the wave from mid, Dyrachyo, to look to keep this pressure going. Quinn picking out Shiro bottom.
Smoke time from Gaming Gladiators this time round.
They know the heroes are positioned on the bottom, in particular that Nagasar, and they know that Shiro was down here, making the long wraparound. You see nothing to say for a second here. Ace hit.
Through the jump, straight away with the stun. It's far too much damage for nothing to say to survive through.
All right, Tofu and Ace menaces this game. Tofu 5-0-5, the instant bedlam, trusting his buddy. Might be able to run into more too, Shiro. He's been spotted, Ace.
Oh,
he knows which one the real one is.
Get in with the jump. The illusions are out, Shiro. Gonna look to try and turn. Tofu's in with the fear. Pushing back Shiro for now. Means that Ace doesn't have to worry about losing the reincarnation quite yet. He's still got that to protect himself and go for a second round. It will get forced out here with the splitter.
Dyrachyo, deep forward, new, looking for some skewer plays. 5 seconds till it's back up.
We'll manage to clear out the illusions, make sure there's no vision for LGD to play around to try for that sort of jump. So Gaming Gladiators will back off safely.
A cool smoke though from Gaming. They kind of force LGD all the way back to their base, getting out of their jungle with that one, even while picking up a kill.
Shiro's farm continues to roll in very nicely.
Still is nice.
Trying to get this hard done on top of the Manta, and he's closing in on it.
The only scare is that the Pango just continues to have this very, very hard game. Same thing for the Magnus. Can the Nagasar, even at this point, like even if he gets the ultimate scaling all the way to the end of these games, is he able to carry versus all this? They have great late game, but it's an 8K lead already for the side of Gaming Gladiators. They're getting crazy scaling, even on the supports, as we were mentioning. I've been waiting to see what Tofu looks to queue up because he's having such a good game. The Yule Scepter, but he's sitting on 1200 if he does want to look to go down some scaling route too. And there's the pipe now for Celery. More and more tankiness. I mean, when he's got the Aghanims finished up now too, so much more burst potential, much better ways to be able to clear out this Nagasar too. As Roche potentially soon on the docket here for Gaming. BKB finished up for Dyrachyo.
And those last few attempts from LGD, they just haven't been able to take down this Queen of Pain 100-0.
And Shiro's gone for the full tanky route rather than the aggressive route that we sometimes do see from the Nagasarans. I think sometimes we do see that like Orchid kind of playmaking style come out, but Shiro, he's just trying to build up for himself.
Celery.
He was spotted.
Got eyes on you. Further TP's coming in as well. See if we can get the blink off in time. No, the right clicks are there. Celery will catch him. They drag him back into the stun. New punished here for trying to farm on this bottom half of the map. Gaming Gladiators, they'll be having none of that.
Kind of the name of the game though for LGD. Pull Gaming away from their base, try to buy more and more time. Even though New does die, it does force 3 heroes to make the move down there.
Setting up for the Roche now.
Roche now, yep.
Look to grab this. Ace also very close to his own BKB.
Yeah, and with that kill that they got onto New, so I mean, for LGD, it's probably too difficult for them to contest down here anyway. But now it's guaranteed here for Gaming to be able to finish that one off.
And Tofu still considering his item build.
Yeah, I've still
1700 gold.
He hasn't queued it up. I've been waiting to see which one he does want to go down the route of. We shall see. Quinn going for a little bit more protection, something you don't see too often anymore on the Queen of Pain, but is buying a Yule's after having his Aghanims and his Kaya, so just that little bit of extra protection versus the calling in particular could be huge. As with this Aegis, imagine the game is going to look to control the map a lot more here, try to constrict this Nagasar from getting out. Shiro playing in these dangerous positions, trying to get farm in the enemy Ancients. And cutting some waves. Some nice micro coming out from him, just like we saw from that Luna.
I mean, honestly, as long as he's able to survive and stay alive, you can probably guarantee that 2 of these waves, at least, will be held right back onto Gaming Gladiators' half of the map. It's not going to be too easy for them to get a push going towards multiple lanes at the same time, Gladiators, with a play from Shiro. As LGD smoked up. I want to try something here with the RP once more.
Quinn.
They're going to try it again. This time round, do they have enough?
He's got the Yules.
He's got the Yules. I mean, he's out of there.
That's an RP down and a splitter.
And that time they don't even come close to killing him.
This Yule's pickup feels pretty damn beautiful there. If they don't have that chain stun, which they really don't have with their draft, he's going to be able to get it off every time. And he's going for Kaya Sanj, so Status Resist is going to make it potentially even easier for him to get off afterwards in these later instances.
Pretty much the only way they can kill this Queen of Pain is if Quinn sort of blinks into them, but Quinn's not been making those mistakes this game.
Or if they have absolutely everything that comes in like perfectly with Shiro, though, they need everybody hitting him at the same time. Ult's on cooldown. Gaming might look to make another move here. They see Shiro top. I mean, this is an empowered Nagasaki. They're kind of giving away which the real one is.
I mean, and they know that there's no RP.
And Ace knows this is the real one.
I mean, they're already TPing in onto the backlines as well. Shiro's going to go for the Song TP out. Same to be said for Why You Smile.
Gets out.
Well, that was close, though. The fear from Tofu nearly catching him, but LGD will escape.
Oh, man, if Tofu's blink was actually on him there, that potentially could have been a catch onto either one of these heroes. The blink was coming on the courier for the Willow, so Tofu, he made his decision what he wants to go for. This is a cool pickup, too. I feel like this is more about stopping it, that initiation or the counter initiation that LGD is going for, rather than scaling for himself. He's looking to see where this RP comes, blink, get the fear off, and reset the fights for his team. So a cool choice if he's able to get those catches. Has nothing to say his game going. I mean, recovering slightly, but still 0-6-0.
Hasn't been involved in any sort of positive action this game when it comes to kills. It's been rough.
He's tried, but it's just been completely stopped from Quinn. Every single time he comes in, a Sonic Wave just pushes him back and stops him in his tracks. 81% as we see there right now for Gaming. Dota Plus is liking their chances.
So much weight right now on Shiro's shoulders.
It really feels like all of it's going to be these big plays that he's able to make with these illusions. Soon having a butterfly, so he is getting quite tanky. But the rest of his allies continue to be pretty poor. And Gaming, they're scaling on all three cores.
Oh, they really are. They really are. Ace still holding the top spot out of the team. Incredible farm on this off-lane Wraith King.
Just to blink the BKB going down the aura round afterwards just to enable his teammates even more so. And just keeping it, now they're starting to keep more and more control of the map. After they got this Aegis, they're dealing with all three lanes. Celery showing on one lane, Ace showing on another, and Quinn with the backup of two heroes showing on another one. So they're keeping the lane shoved in and constricting Shiro from getting his illusions actually out to cut these waves. He's actually been unable to for the last few minutes.
And the fact that they are indeed getting the chance to hit these two tier 2s at the same time, definitely a concern for how LGD would want to be keeping this game going.
And they can potentially even set up for Tormentor if they'd like to. Maybe a little bit of a risk playing versus the Magnus and everything, but Ace may be thinking about it. Did Celery show what he's going to be building just yet? Okay, he does have the Aghanims queued up. You know, he's going to be a great option. Look at this. This is the deep jump.
Oh, he's going in past the tier 3. He's ready to sort of dive in and look for action. The sleep is there. RP as well.
Down to two.
Two of them. It's going to bring them low. Yule's up for Quinn. Quinn will be able to jump out of this one. Gets to the side. Actually hits pretty much a 5.
Gets it all.
Wave there. Ace here on the second life. Goes towards the ET. Takes down Why You Smile. Shiro has to use the song to back up.
I mean, what a jump there. I mean, Celery TPing it aggressively and then Ace jumping for
Quinn. Just
Quinn.
goes straight for it.
Yeah, Quinn gets a connection on almost everybody with Shadow's Dragon.
Pretty much a 5 map.
Just trying to use this Aegis as much as possible. Duracho, 40 seconds left on it.
He should be able to pop it the once. Maybe not. He's actually able to get out of this Duracho. He's not even going to lose the Aegis quite yet.
Little toggle, gets himself out. They force the glyph. They force quite a bit there. I mean, pretty much every single ulti being used from the side of LGD just to sustain and withstand themselves. Celery does buy back at the least there. One silver lining for LGD, but Gaming, I mean, at any moment you can see they're very confident just jumping in. Duracho.
The skewer back on him, 10 seconds to late.
Seconds.
And we'll just look to take him down the first time whilst the Aegis is still there.
And okay, and they get the Tormentor too.
Quinn. Go for round 2, Quinn. He's in with the jump. Duracho plus the BKB turns over towards Shiro.
Shiro's in trouble.
Done. They surrounded him in the corner. They came blocked off by Duracho. Sonic Wave as well. He's pushed off to the side of the map. Quinn jumps in. He's killing off the back lines. He's taken out Blood and Beautiful as well.
Shiro.
Surrounded the Nagasaki. Shiro. He's out.
50 seconds.
None of them with buyback gold available. As GG will be able to push down this bottom lane, maybe even get the tier 3 in the barracks with this one. They're starting to fall a bit low on Quinn, but Duracho's, he's full HP.
He's back to full. Quinn,
I mean, what can they do to push this one back? At the least there's still a tier 2 in the mid lane.
They don't have their Magnus. They have no way to skewer, no way to hold this off. This Rax is looking pretty dead. Can they stop this? And Quinn, this Arcane Rune right there coming into play, and now Ace.
Nothing to say. Gonna try and put a bit of a slowdown to this push, but at the same time, he's gonna make sure that he keeps a fair bit of a distance when the Rolling Thunder does come to an end.
I mean, they're still going, even for the melee racks here. Gaming Gladiators pushing the limits. We'll be backing up. Magnus is respawning. RP's back up. They'll give respect. But another massive hit, 13K lead. They bring down Shiro, and Quinn with the back of that Arcane Rune kind of making the magic happen. The confident blink forward into everybody.
I mean, he knows they can't kill him.
Yep. Now, his itemization feels absolutely perfect this game, and he knows it. He's playing so confident. Full heart now on the CK as well, too. A massive hit from Gaimin. And everything coming back up for them pretty soon. Sonic Wave, 15 seconds.
It's just been so hard for LGD to really find a kill at all.
Yep. I mean, as soon as the song gets used, they kind of just have to like reset and run, and then once Shiro gets isolated without song, he's just dead. They have no way to follow up to protect him. Quinn soon to have a Shivas as well, too. More and more layers for them to try to get through to bring down this Quap.
Trying to step out of their base a little bit, LGD, but
scary to come out. They keep having to just follow each other together. They have to play as a unit here versus the side of Gaming. They could just get picked off in an instant, as we see there. Gaming, no hesitation to jump if a hero's isolated. LGD. Can they find something with this smoke? Quinn. He's got a shield rune.
They try for the skewer back. The hesitations, of course, they don't want to drop the RP because the last few times it's just not worked out.
I mean, even if they get him there, honestly, he just probably pops shield rune and we'll probably see the same thing that happened time and time before. 3 lanes being shoved in. You see the lines being drawn from LGD. They're like, we need to get these lanes out. Taracho. Looking for the very aggressive play here.
They're looking for the jump.
Jump, Shiro. He's got backup.
He get glimmered.
Instant play. I mean, why you smile. In the perfect position there to protect him. More and more items to deal with that Naga. We said, you know, the Radiance is out, the AC is out for Ace. Great items versus Naga. Now it's Shiva's, of course, coming out for Quinn. Harder and harder for Shiro to solo carry this. All 3 lanes shoved in. No space for Shiro to get out on the map.
Should be able to take out this final tier 2 tower now, Gaming Gladiators.
And Roche, it's going to be a long spawn. Ace just jumps in.
He goes straight for it, straight over towards Planet. There will be the Glimmer again to try and get him out of there, but Celery's in with the TP, falls up to the high ground. Planet, he's been caught by the Sprout. They get the skewer back on the Celery. Celery caught by the Silence. They take the Nature's Prophet down, but the Sonic Wave from Quinn clips Planet.
Look how confident he is with the shield rune. Knows they have no way to get him. Celery does die, and that was the dieback, so 60 seconds without him. Gaming looks like they will be happy with that tier 2 and that kill. They'll back up and get that farm going here. DD spawns up top. And Quinn gets one of those big talents with the Aghanims build. He's got the 20 talent. A long spawn on that Roche. Maybe a fortunate one for LGD, it feels like a little bit, but either way, they have more than enough time on the side of Gaming to just keep these lanes shoved in to constrict Shiro. And scaling continues.
We're going to be able to listen in on, I believe, Gaming Gladiator to see what they had to say about those previous moments.
If we play in formation, they have no chance of fighting. We just do not overreach. The only way they can kill is if we get like ultra skewered into some turbo combo.
Yep.
I mean, he's absolutely right on that one. We're seeing it the way that the Gaming Gladiators are moving as a unit. It's just not allowing LGD any opportunity to get the jump on them.
Not to get the jump on multi-heroes too, right? We've seen one-man RPs, one-man skewers, one-man splitters. Just, yeah, Gaming, they really have not been giving the opportunities to them to get that big wombo combo onto multiple heroes. Full Hex now onto Shiro. A little bit more catch to potentially trip up Quinn.
He's really got his work cut out, Shiro.
He really does.
He's had the chance to get the farm, but can he do what's necessary to keep LGD's hopes alive here in this game too?
It really is all up to him. Roche, 30 seconds. Gaming positioning themselves for it. All 4 or 5 heroes actually set up down bottom. Duracho getting closer and closer to his MKB to be able to focus down this Naga Siren as well. Ace almost has an Aghanim, so even if they do get caught in some type of wombo combo and stuff like that, there's the plays around it. More and more scaling continues. Roche, LGD. This is a tough call to make, but maybe they might feel like they have to potentially try to contest this Roshan, but yeah, this is a very, very hard call to make.
I mean, and Gaming Gladiators, they're going to be coming straight for them first. Smoke up with Gladiators.
Guard. This could be totally unexpected here.
They're going to be ready to head into the triangle.
Duracho leading the charge. Scouted by a tree. Wait, Blink.
Blink is there in time.
Nicely done. And they will all get out. Shelly will back up, deal with the lanes as his team goes for the Roche.
Super close to his own Aghanims.
I mean, this item is always super nice, just so you don't have to really like commit your hero so far. And he just throws a Wrath of Nature because it disarms as well too, with all the bounces that it gets on with the root. So it can be really nice to just protect the heroes if they do get caught inside of a big wombo combo. As Roche will fall. Duracho can play a little bit more. I mean, I'd say a little bit more aggressive, but more aggressively. Quinn, a secondary life, has yet to die this game.
I mean, they're heading towards him top. There's still a tier 1 available here for backup to come in if they do want to dive this, but it's a CK with an Aegis.
Instant
Try and tease something out. They'll get the BKB response, but nothing more.
Duracho seems like he knew that was coming from a mile away.
Celery.
Wisdom runes, double grabbed again for Gaimin. LGD looking to try to keep getting something up out at top here, but the lanes are starting to get pushed in.
It is a lot of them out here, pretty deep on the map, but can they really start a fight?
Planet, Hunter Division.
He's able to get the Pierce the Veil off. A little bit of protection, but still the damage really coming in from the Magical, bringing him down low. He's caught in the trees. Quinn finishes him off. LGD, they've got to get out of here.
Nice ward from Tofu. Quickly places that one down on the side. Tofu also still just having this flawless game, 5-0 and 8. It's enabled Quinn to be able to snowball.
I mean, it's sort of
80 spawns bottom. Ace able to grab this one now too. And that Aghanims is done.
And they can play like this, just sort of split across the map, knowing that LGD just can't really jump any of them.
Nope.
And if they do, there's going to be more than enough time for them to survive long enough for backup to arrive.
Yeah, and they've got all these itemization to be able to deal with this Nagastar. And Ace also, of course, didn't point it out, but he did get blessed with the Cloak of Flames on top of everything too. So Cloak of Flames Radiant, so he's going to be amazing versus these Illusion heroes on top of Quinn, having the Shivas and everything too, and having Cloak of Flames. Look how many of them they have. And yeah, these lanes, they're just constantly being dealt with. On top of the Wrath of Nature, of course, rooting. Once you get that Aghanims, the cooldown also dropping down to that 60 seconds. He can just throw it off cooldown, keep these lanes constantly shoved in, keep LGD inside of their base. Quinn now with the Lincolns as well to another layer to try to go through.
They're just never going to catch him.
Nope, it doesn't feel like it. Not with the way that he's played. I mean, honestly, it's been pretty much 0 mistakes from him so far, Quinn. A flawless game, a flawless 2 games, to be honest with you.
LGD. They're going to try it for it again. Smoke up. They've got to take some sort of high-risk plays here to try and pull this game back in their favor.
Who do you want to go for, though? There's an Aghanims for Wraith King as well, too. These tanky frontliners with Aegis Cheese, too. And Ace is just walking.
He might just even blink in.
He's taunting them. He wants him to go for him.
He's going to jump the stun off, and you see they turn with the Hex. If they can bring him down the once, they can drag back up towards the tier 3.
To the base.
Take him down once. Unless they can do it a second time. Quinn starts to jump forward, get the Shadow Strike out onto New. It's enough to hold them back, and indeed there's not any sort of attempt from LGD to try and go on Ace a second time.
60 seconds, we'll be back up.
Pretty much all waves starting to push in against LGD. Still 2 minutes. They just under Accio.
Big neutrals found. Penta Edge now for him as well. After this MKB, he is hitting incredibly hard. Quinn also finds himself a Stormcrafter and Ace, a Havoc Hammer. More really good items versus pretty much all these illusions. It's rare to see the Nagasarn unable to really send the illusions out to try to get any farm, but they're just dealing with them so quickly every time they see them.
Leaving the base just does not feel like an option right now for LGD whatsoever.
Getting massively out-farmed. The Gaming's farming 90% of the map.
We heard it in the comms earlier, just sort of keeping everything very calm on Gaming Gladiators. Duracho. Really clipped by the harpoon, they're able to pull him in, but Quinn's here with a backup.
Ace is in.
They get a sorry way, push back onto the 3 of them. The RP's there, but it looks like like it doesn't really matter. They've already lost Planet. Shiro having to use the song to reset. It's another retreat from LGD. They can't even hold around the barracks as the melee barracks will fall.
Is that another 4-man Sonic Wave, I feel like, from Quinn? I feel like every single time he's getting so many of these heroes. I can't imagine what his damage is in this game, but it probably is by far the highest.
And Ace
is
going again. He's going up towards the tier 4s. They get another round of the Shadow Strike daggers out into the two of them. Shiro trying to step forward. But the illusion's out. The Duracho is pretty much ignoring them. Hitting onto the tier 3.
Shiro's in trouble.
Shiro with the sun. Ace stepping forward. They get the pullback with the Rift. Shiro's in trouble. The Hex is there, thrown down on towards Duracho.
Shiro?
Not enough to fight back to save Shiro. Shiro taken out. Short of the money on buyback. You also to fall. They don't have the buybacks here. LGD is Gaming Gladiators, taking them down one by one. Stun over the walls, nothing to say. He's also out without no buyback. The tier 4's exposed. They're looking to close it up. It's over. GG is gone. Gaming Gladiators take this one 2-0. We'll be moving on to the grand finals.
What a display of dominance. This last pick, Queen of Pain. I mean this seemed perfect. Quinn just took over everything. Nothing to say. Ends the game 0-7-0.
That is gotta
Holy
be
crap.
one of the most brutal mid comparisons we've seen. I think Quinn just letting out his disgust for Pango pickers big time in this game with how dominant and how just rough that mid matchup ends up looking on the scoreboard. Folks.
I mean, look at the damage numbers. It tells the tale of it all. Quinn, look at this. I mean, ridiculous. 36,000. How many 4-man ults can we see? How many times is he just going to stop? Nothing to say in his tracks. In the Rolling Thunders, nothing to say. Did 11,000 damage. LGD tries to play for the late game, but it doesn't even matter. Gaming just controls everything. And even if it gets to these later stages, they had full grasp.
I mean, they look brilliant. I mean, as we said, we knew it from the Duracho death of the neutrals that this game was over. They always win the games like that. It's a crucial point.
I mean,
you know, from that point on, she's just not beating them. You know, Duracho, he's in full Duracho form, and he does not get stopped.
No, he does not. A flawless game from Gaming Gladiators.
Absolutely. I mean, LGD, they had a great run, but here today, they get shut down out of the competition by Gaming Gladiators, who are going to be moving on to that grand finals with an incredible force after the sort of ferocity that they win these two games with. Gaming Gladiators, they'll take the series 2-0 against LGD and are going to the grand finals.